Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Copeland. I'm your instructor for the summer, and I just want to go over a few things with you about the class and show you how it works. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. So when you log in, this is what you'll see. Any new announcements will be posted here. I post an announcement every, usually Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning sometime, that gives you all the work for the week on what you'll be doing. A couple things. So Canvas does this really great thing over here where it gives you your to-do list. But I just want to tell you the to-do list doesn't tell the whole story, particularly when it comes to discussions. So the way discussions work is that um, Canvas only allows me to put a final due date. So discussions are completely due by Sundays, at midnight, but you have to make your initial post on Thursday. So that won't show up. So you want to make sure that you do your initial post every Thursday, and then you have to have your final post to two peers by Sunday. I put that in the syllabus. I put it in several places to try and remind you, but you always want to remember um, initial post on Thursday and then final post on Sunday. Okay, so all of the work for the class is done in the modules. So all you'll need to do is click on the module, and then there's the syllabus there. So I'll show you a few things. Let me go to the modules. So I just want to go over a little bit about what to expect in the class. We have to write 4 essays. The final essay is a research paper, about 6 to 8 pages. Most weeks there'll be a discussion and an initial response. Sometimes you'll have more than one discussion because it's a summer class, so we have to do the same amount of work in 1/3 the time. You'll also have exercises from our textbook asking the right questions. This is the textbook, and you can get that through the bookstore. You can get it. The ISBN number is listed on the syllabus. And so wherever you can find the textbook, that's great. The digital version is, I believe, available through the bookstore, and it's very reasonably priced. And that's the only book that we have. Um, each week, there will be a new module posted with new exercises. We'll have a midterm and a final exam. Basically, after the first week, you're going to have an essay every week due. Let me go over the syllabus with you. So the syllabus, I want to show you a couple things. One is important dates. So just so you're aware, because it's summer, things move so quickly. Um, the last day to drop without a W is Sunday, May 31st. So after you look at the class, if you feel like it's not something you're going to have the time or the resources for, I encourage you to drop it before that drop date so that you don't get that W on your transcript. You can withdraw after the 16th. Or up until the 16th. After the 16th, even if you want to withdraw, I can't withdraw you from the class. I don't have the technological ability. The system doesn't allow it. Um, and let me go back to more of the syllabus. So you can click on this link for the syllabus, and I'm not going to go over the whole syllabus. There is a quiz on the syllabus. I'll tell you a little bit about that, but I'll show you a few things about it. One of the important things I want to show you is how much time does this class take. So this is a 4-unit class. In a typical 16-week semester, you'd meet, like on Mondays and Wednesdays for a couple hours. So you'd have 4 hours of class time. Then you would also have 8 hours of out of class time, like reading and writing and all that kind of stuff. So you have to do the same amount of work in a much shorter amount of time. So we have to do it in about 5.5 weeks. So that translates to about 36 to 40 hours a week. So I just like to give students a heads up so that you know about how much time to expect. And here is the information on the textbook with the title and the ISBN number. The rest of the class policies, I will let you go over yourself. I do actually have a separate quiz on AI. Um, so my, I'll let you read it more in detail, but my class policy is on AI is that this is an English class and we are learning to write. So using AI is not okay. Um, the way I do it is, Canvas will flag a lot of work as AI. I look at it myself. I feel like I'm the ultimate AI detector. I've been reading student work for 20 years. I know how students sound. If I believe your work is AI, really the way to do that, first of all, the burden of proof is on you to prove that it's not AI. The main way to do that, I mean, you can save it in a Google Doc and I can look at your process if you want, but really the best way to do it is for you and I to meet over Zoom, and I will give you some sort of prompt to write. And if you write the same way that your essay is written in AI live, then okay, then you've proven that you have the same writing style and skill that you submitted in your essays. And that goes for anything. It's not just essays. It goes for discussions and all of that stuff. I do think AI has some useful tools, um, but for learning English, not so much, especially when you think about the idea of learning how to organize your thoughts and ideas and become a critical thinker. Um, AI is so much more than when students turn in papers with AI. And I will tell you, every single semester, I have failed several students for using AI. Just a heads up. Okay. Um, you can read through the rest to take the quiz. Let me go back to the modules. So um, this is your first week's assignment and activities. Of course, you're going to introduce yourself to the class, so you want to be sure and do that. Notice it says the due date is May 31st, so that's next Sunday. But you want to make your initial post by Thursday, so you want to make sure you get that done. It's called a milestone instead of a due date, but you want to make sure you do that. I do not give credit for late discussions. It's kind of one of the um, things that there's no give on. The discussions count as attendance. So if you miss a discussion, you just miss it. There's no way to make it up. So that's something that you want to keep an eye on. We do have quizzes on the academic essay. Really, our first week is sort of getting used to what is an essay, what does it look like? What are the requirements in this class for essays? So there's a quiz on the syllabus, there's a little lecture on the academic essay and a quiz on that. These are all very small, 10, 12 points here. How to write an effective thesis statement. There's like a little lecture and then you'll take a quiz on it. Um, then I have a PowerPoint on cognitive biases and what those are. There's a quiz on cognitive biases, and then your discussion is on cognitive biases as well. So, and each week I'll open a new module and then you'll have new assignments due. You'll get our first essay assignment next week, and it'll be due the week after that. Um, What else do I want to show you? We have MLA information here, so all of our essays should be in MLA format, not APA format. So you want to make sure that your essays are in MLA. If you're not sure how to write in MLA format or what it looks like or how to cite your work in MLA format, I have a lot of examples for you, but I don't do a lot of instruction in MLA format, so something to keep an eye on. Um, that's basically it. Look around. If you have any questions, let me know. And I look forward to our class this summer. I hope you find it interesting and challenging. Our first essay is on film, and you get to pick a film that you want to write about. So we'll talk more about that next week. So talk to you later.